What's up, you guys? Welcome to another video. So as you can tell, we are going to be doing a cooking video, and I decided one day, because I got bored, to sign up for EveryPlate. This video is not sponsored. I paid for it with my own money because I am hella freaking busy and I thought this would make my life easier. And then I realized I, in fact, have ADHD, and following recipes is like really hard for me.
And the camera's crooked, oh my God.
I will say that the cool thing about subscription boxes like this, and there's tons of them. There's HelloFresh, EveryPlate, which is like a version of HelloFresh. I think it's like the same company. Then there's Dinnerly, Blue Apron, there's vegan options, vegetarian options. There's just tons of food subscription boxes. So the good thing about it is they send you every single ingredient that you need, which is super helpful. And then they send you step-by-step instructions of how to prepare all of these meals. And you know, it kind of just gets you outside of your comfort zone, and maybe it will help you cook things that you wouldn't normally cook. For me personally, following instructions becomes like a chore, and it kind of takes the fun out of cooking. Like, I don't have any recipes written down. Everything that I've learned how to cook, I've just learned through trial and error and seasoning and tasting, and I have not ever followed a recipe. It's also why I'm very, very, very bad at baking. I can't bake. I mean, I can read and follow instructions, but I just don't like it. It's not fun. I think the reason I signed up for this is just because I kind of was bored with like all of my recipes that I have personally. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna try meatloaf, and I'm gonna like loosely follow this recipe and look at pictures and think I know what I'm doing. All right, so because it is a super busy weeknight in my house, I'm just going to play some music, maybe do a voiceover, and just show you guys what I make. Okay, so after we wash our potatoes, we're gonna start cutting them. The recipe said cut it in wedges, but I wanted to make more potatoes than it called for, so I just cut them into small little pieces. Also, the oven is going to be preheated to 425 degrees. So I drizzled them with some oil, and then the recipe told me to season it with the seasoning packet that came in it. And I never think that it's enough seasoning, so I added some onion powder and some parsley. The only reason I didn't add salt to them at this moment in time was because I wasn't sure how salty that seasoning was, because I had never used it before. So you're just gonna have to get your hands dirty and make sure that they're really well combined with all the oil and all of the seasonings. And then we're going to start making the meatloaf. This part of it was kind of weird, so it just asked to take 2 slices of bread and get them a little bit wet with like 2 tablespoons of water, and then start breaking it up. I kind of wish I just used breadcrumbs, because this, you know, didn't add any flavor to the meatloaf whatsoever. So if you're doing it at home, just use some breadcrumbs. Then I went back in with another pack of the same seasoning that we used on the potatoes. It didn't call for an egg, but I felt like it needed an egg, like it needed some more moisture, and I was honestly triggered that it didn't ask for an egg. So again, we gotta get our hands dirty and get all in there. An important thing with meatloaf is to not over mix it. Then I made individual little hamburgers, individual little meatloaf thingies. Then I created a little space because we are going to put cheese in the middle of these little meatloaf thingies. And I used pepper jack cheese. I was so happy that the recipe called for peppers and onions, because I am a texture person and I'm not a huge fan of meatloaf. It's okay. Reese loves meatloaf, but the fact that they included peppers and onions really just made me so happy. So there's a little bit of a crunch. So I put the peppers and onions on the stove at about medium heat. Then we're going to be making our sauce. Now the recipe called for some ketchup, our ketchup bottle's broken, and some Dijon mustard. And some brown sugar. So after I mixed that up, I really didn't like the flavor, so I added Worcestershire sauce to it. This is the final product. As you can see, one of our children only eats dinosaur chicken nuggets, so it's going great. But I think it came out really good. Everything was super flavorful. I did have to add salt at the end to the potatoes and the meatloaf though. So this is our routine every single night. At the end of the day, we sit at the table and we eat dinner and we talk about our day. A funny fact about Riley is that she won't eat meatloaf, but she will eat shebang chips or prison chips, which are very salty and like they will burn all of the taste buds off of your tongue, but it's fine. Riley almost always has like a tiny little boo-boo or a bug bite or a scratch that she is showing me, so that is a daily crisis in her life. It was Groundhog Day yesterday and the girls informed me that that stupid thing saw his shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter. So that's what we were talking about, and I am personally offended and I would like it to no longer be winter. I'm so over it. My girls are so different. Micah will eat almost anything. She loves all her vegetables. She loved this meatloaf. And Riley told me that the meatloaf smelled like stinky socks. So they're very, very different with very different personalities, and I just love watching them grow. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more cooking videos, I will create a little playlist and I will leave it on a card on the top of your screen. Bye, guys. Oh wait, look at Bowie. She's like, oh my God, just let me outside, lady.